Hey, real quick, guys. While I was editing this, still kind of double checking on some of the stuff. I was trying to get Kodak Reds. I think that's his name, Kodak Reds. Kind of some of the information on him while I was just kind of post editing, and it was the second round. You're gonna hear me say first round a lot. Ignore that. That's stupid me. I'm going to correct it a little bit while rereading some of the stuff I was looking through that I missed. It's the second round. So my apologies. What's going on, guys? So bear with me. I got boxes kind of piling up behind me. I'm going through a bunch of my stuff and trying to organize everything to get ready to be able to get them shelf ready. A bunch of nerd stuff. Anyway, that's future talk, future problems. I'm just letting you know to kind of bear with me. I'm not just sitting here collecting things at this moment. Well, they are collectibles, but I'm just not collecting a big mountain of boxes just to have them. I'm actually going through them and trying to get them ready. But anyway, that's besides the point. I wanted to talk about something that kind of just threw me off. I didn't know it was coming. Okay, if you don't know, there was two creators. There was a whole boxing setup I just didn't know about. But the main two I wanted to talk about that kind of threw me for a loop was one of the Island Boys and Charleston White. Now, if you don't know who Charleston White is, he is basically kind of like an old crippled guy that really has a lot to say and has no filter and is a bit of a goober sometimes. But I'm going to go ahead and let everybody else, make their opinions about him. But I think he's just goofy, and I laugh at some of the stuff he says. And then you got the Island Boys. Now, if you don't know who the Island Boys is, I envy you, because unfortunately, they were being quoted quite literally ad nauseum by everybody I know. Basically, they're just easy to kind of quote from, a simple, easy meme. And if you don't know who they are, here's a quick clip to kind of get you caught up.
Cause I'm an island boy, and I've been trying to make. Oh, I'm an island boy.
Sorry. While I was looking up the clip, I couldn't help it. That popped up, and that was a funny meme from a little while ago. I know it's kind of dated now, but look, that's still just hilarious to me. But no, this is the actual Island Boys.
Cause I'm an island boy, and I've been trying to make. I'm a just island boy. I'm a just island boy.
Now, you have to forgive me. I don't know which one it is that's actually doing it. I know the name. It's like Trippy, Trip something anyway. It's Red. His name's Red with 2 Ds, okay? And basically, he's the one that's doing the boxing match. Now, here's the thing. The entire fight, which I don't know how much I can get away with showing you, so the editing you're about to see of what clips I can show you are going to be like freeze framed, this, that, and the other. I'm going to try to do my best to just, put it within the guidelines, okay? Because, yeah, even though it's like a sanctioned boxing match, I don't know how much YouTube would like me to actually show, because it is still physical punching, okay? Well, if you want to call it that. It was kind of as bad as like the Boogie and Wings of Redemption fight. If you remember that, Wings was the only one really throwing any straight punches, barely, and then Boogie just kept trying to like throw his knuckles at him, and it wasn't a good fight. And that's basically what happens here, most of it. And another thing that kind of throws me off, and it's been talked about before with young influencer boxers boxing like older guys, like Jake Paul will put, for instance. But even in his boxing matches, they look about as real as you can get it, to be honest. They look pretty entertaining. This was entertaining, but in like a bad way, okay? Because I don't think either one of them trained like at all. That's coming from me, okay? The only training I ever had was having to go toe-to-toe with a guy that was in the military his entire, since he was 18, okay? And this guy was a big goofball. He was my older cousin. He's kind of like the oldest brother amongst me and my uncle. So you got me, my uncle, and him. And basically it was just, like top-tier bullying to toughen me up. And all it did was show me how to, like, wrestle a little bit. So I don't know, if you want to tussle with these hands, I might got you. Now, all jokes aside, it just seemed like nobody in this trained at all. Even at least with Creator Clash, at least the first one that is, not the abysmal 2 and going to be 3. They seem genuinely like trained, at least a little bit, amateurish at best, but still, some of them put on a decent show, a decent fight. This is one round. Red couldn't make it more than one round. He pretty much cried out and just said, I'm done. I'm tired of getting hit in the face, because he just does not put in any defense, and his offense was just as bad.
Go down, cross it, there you go.
And yes, I know this is coming from a fat guy who looks like he has no experience in anything. I'm going to let you know, as a kid, teenager, and, well, not so much in high school because I just stopped having any issues. Yeah, no, I've been in my fair share of fights, okay? I'm not going to be a guy that's going to go out there and pummel every person I meet. No, but I learned a little bit on ducking. I learned a little bit on blocking, and definitely had to learn how to take a hit to the face. Because, yeah, if you're first learning to fight and the guy that you're fighting is just, well, better than you, then you're going to learn really quick. And it looks like in this situation, this was like the first fight he's ever been in his life.
Hit the body, sweetheart. There you go. Hit the body. There you go. There you go. Right there. Right there. There we go. Come on, let's go.
Now, like I said, I had to edit it pretty poorly or whatever to try to meet some guidelines. Because, yeah, I'm definitely not trying to get this video fully age restricted or just shadow banned, okay? And also, quick flashbang. Sorry, I could not help myself. I ran across that while looking up a few things on the Island Boys, and it popped up, that blurry screenshot of a screenshot, I'm sure, of a screenshot, bit crushed to hell. But yeah, I had to take it and go ahead and flashbang you guys. I thought it'd be funny, at least to me. You're probably not liking it, but I thought it was funny. And yeah, that's actually both of them, real brothers. They were trying to, spicy content. And that was them full on actually sucking tongue. Or I say sucking tongue. Close enough. It was just gross and nobody liked it. But basically, I wanted to kind of get down to another thing that kind of bothered me is the fact that he lost. He's like in his 20s, okay? He's in his prime. Being in your 20s, and I mean, even if you're kind of a lazy guy, even I was like pretty well off in my early 20s to mid 20s. I was able to eat more than what I can now and was smaller than I am now. A lot of it just caught up with me in older age and me not really paying attention to what I was doing. And continuing on with bad food, choices and drinking heavily and going to bars all the time. And he looks like he's fairly lean. I mean, he's probably underweight, but still, him and Charleston was in the same weight class by the looks of it. And to make it kind of worse, if you don't know, Charleston's like full on disabled, okay? He's definitely got age on him, okay? A lot of him leaning over was him just having to throw his arms, and he wasn't like throwing into it. He was leaning over and trying to reach that way, which is really bad on your back, but still, also, he's blind in one eye. It's a full fake eye. Literally, all you had to do is like dodge to 50% of the side he can't see. You had that. Like, that's all you had to do was kind of keep going and, like, I don't know, outmaneuver him to the side he can't visibly see, and you probably would have had him. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it probably could have been that easy. It was downright disrespectful that he not only lost, but he lost on his own accord. It was like a TKO, technical knockout, because he just kind of gave up. It was over. He just felt like he was gassed out and it was finished. And he went only like a minute and a half. Okay, it's not even that long. Maybe 2 minutes. I'm not sure exactly how long he made it. The clip I got was just a little over a minute, so take what I just said with a grain of salt, but still, not even making it the first round is super sad, okay? If you're going to do a boxing event at all, okay? Even, say me, okay? I'm a big guy. I might get gassed out, but I'm going to try to put on some kind of spectacle, okay? I'm going to try to make it at least 2 rounds. Come on, get 2 rounds. And I assume it comes down to the fact that as I am overweight and would be out of shape, he is significantly underweight and shows that he is pretty much out of shape too. You can be skinny and still out of shape. It's actually pretty bad. There was a guy I used to work with. Like, he was super ripped and looked like he was in shape. This is how we would talk about it. And I, being not this big, I was still a bigger guy. I was about 230. Being a hefty dude, and we were running same processes, doing fine, being able to do our job, but he couldn't run at all without getting gas. He said if he sprinted a quarter mile, and if I sprinted a quarter mile, we probably both would have been just laying there holding our lungs. And he didn't smoke. I smoked heavily back then. And he said, yeah, I honestly probably couldn't outrun you. And I was like, that's impossible. And that's kind of the moment that really it started setting with me that it's not just being underweight, even if you're kind of lean. If you're too small and have no developed muscle essentially, and you're just all muscle, no fat, and it's just however your metabolism works, you can still gas out fairly easy. And I assume that's what happened here. He's just a young guy. He probably smokes a lot. I don't know. But at the same time, he doesn't work out. He doesn't do any activities. He's just naturally high, metabolic rate, and basically just not doing a whole lot, which would just make him look lean and have what visible muscle he has and still get gassed out because he just cannot keep up the energy. Because there's still thermodynamics in this, okay? You still have to have something to burn. You have to have something to burn off of, too. So I would imagine actually probably some big guys, because I think Boogie and Wings actually went a little bit. I want to say, I can't even remember. Didn't they go a few rounds? I'd have to double check that, but that's still not the point of the video. But still, bigger guys probably would actually end up outlasting just because the sheer fact they have something to burn off while they're doing it. Yeah, they'll get gassed because if you have a 400-pound guy with probably a meat frame of 220, he's going to gas out because he's still holding on to roughly another 200 pounds. So yeah, you'd definitely be gassed out compared to somebody that's roughly 110 pounds soaking wet. And I'm sure a hard fart would just knock him over. But yeah, guys, it was kind of weird seeing this. It just popped up. I saw the clips of Charleston just not having it. He just said, you know what? We're going to let the ring do the talking. I hate this punk. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to walk off. He wouldn't even do the confrontation part where they're trying to sell the fight. He kept hating it. And then, yeah, he showed up and threw a few of those, however you want to call them, punches. And yeah, dude won the fight because Red just backed out. But yeah, guys, that's about all I got to say. Y'all have a good one.